All right, Dow Jones down 130 plus today. So really have to see what's going on. We're at the basically the bottom of the channel here. So we're at the bottom of this channel. As you can see on the weekly, we look at the monthly, we see that we still have this distribution candle, shooting star from last week. I mean, excuse me, from last month, and we're at the. So if we kind of take a step back and we break this point right here, we could definitely see some running to the downside. And I mean, you have a cross of the 10 and the 50. I mean, it's crossed before, crossed here, and came back up. So just gotta see what's going on. Don't try to predict it, and do not try to catch a falling knife. Let this thing play out. Today, I have a couple trades I put on in the morning regarding they had to get executed at a certain price, and they didn't. And I felt it is what it is, you know. And sometimes it's better to be in cash than to try. Especially people say, "Oh, this is the bottom. This is the bottom." Those people get destroyed. I will say it over and over and over and over and over again. Anybody that tells you that you can pick a bottom and a top is a liar. I have no qualms of saying that. I usually don't like to get, but anybody tells you I can always call tops, lying sack of crap. Anybody can tell you, oh, I can pull lying sack of. If you say, listen, this is a previous low, and I'm gonna go long there, and I'm gonna put my. So let's say you wanted to get around here, okay, and you said it got down to here, and you said, listen, this is the low. You're gonna just say, listen, this is a prior pivot point, and you need to define your risk, whatever your risk for, and if it breaks it, then you go down. But people will add. So there's somebody that might have added here, added here, added here, and it's still getting cream. You don't want to be that guy, okay? So let's just continue. S&P 500 is breaking down again under the 50. If it breaks below this low, we definitely could see it come test these previous areas here at 1625. If we look on the weekly, you can see that this is a point right here that 1690. What is this? 1670 is the low of this candle. So it's just a little bit below the 10. Nothing crazy, but you really, really need to make sure that you're looking at this stuff. And remember, we still have the shooting star from last month. But you can see this channel is right back in it. We thought we were breaking above, but it's back in this channel. So it's in a down channel. It is what it is. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to say, don't do that type of stuff. So got the S&P. Let's look at the composite. We got the composite actually giving us a shooting star, ace on the 10, and I think below this number here, we could see some more lows getting. You see the lower highs in place, and you could even see if you say you have the higher lows in place, you have a pendant that you want to see where it breaks out to continue your trade. If you're bearish, you say, listen, maybe the top of today's wick is where you say, listen, I'm ready to go in. I got bearish MACD. I'm good to go. But we need to see some follow through. Okay. With the Russell 2000 continuing to the downside. Okay. We just have to see what's going on. And regarding the weekly, this doesn't look like anything but a retracement. But today it is, we trade the right side of the chart. You see this channel is, is still intact. Oop, picked the wrong one. Still intact. So still in the up channel from the weekly. So you just have to look at that. Now let's comb through a lot of names right now. Apple daily. It looked like it. I posted this, testing this upper resistance line, giving you a shooting star. I think if it could give you something like an evening star to downside, we have some more downside to go. If it breaks above the top of this candle, it's back into the sideways chop that we discussed before. We don't want to do that. Google. You see you have some continuing, it's testing the weekly support, and it's actually a little bit below it. So look at that. This has been support for a long time, okay, since around the first, second quarter. So you just really have to see what's going on. If it breaks below that, there's a lot of air underneath that. So you just have to be careful. Let's get back to the daily. We have Tesla. Tesla, right now, it was up, okay, $2. But we don't know if this is flagging. You see the volume decreasing a little bit, but I want a little bit of lower high and something else to confirm over this 10 before I start getting excited. We got Solar City follow through today. I would like to see a follow through above this 39.35 as possible, but I was looking at Facebook. Okay, I'm looking at Facebook again. For days I've been telling you I'm trying to get over this portion. Didn't get engaged. I'm happy with that. Looked at Yahoo. Thought it was going to keep on going. Didn't go. If it got above this high of the day, I was looking to get into that. Okay, I was looking to get into Celgene. Celgene looked really good. Couldn't get above the day. So I mean, you know, I'm not gonna try to again predict. And if my stuff doesn't get hit, it just doesn't get hit. You know, at the end of the day, that's what keeps me trading. Uh, Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts gave it a golfing pattern. Maybe if you're aggressive, you get above these highs. Who knows? You know, but you got to see what the overall trend is. And the overall trend right now is not looking too bullish. Let's look at ExxonMobil. Looks like it has more downside. It has this right here. It's right. So if somebody was looking to say this is a double bottom or whatever you want to, call it, at least you have some defined risk. Most people just buying just because, I don't know, maybe they're using the force or something, who knows. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to use the force, and I don't have a little man that talks backwards beside me really showing me the deal. So I would make sure you be really, really careful regarding that. Baidu, let's see what Baidu did today. Another distribution candle or shooting star. I wouldn't go short this, and I would need some type of confirmation, quite honestly. Let's look at the banking sector. Banking sector still looks kind of weak. You got BAC again looking weak, gap down, stayed down. You got Goldman Sachs continuing to the downside. You got Wells Fargo continuing to the downside. Come on, continue. Yes, continuing to the downside. So I mean, you just really, really have to make sure that you're looking at what's going on, because this XLF at the end of the day is not looking good. Okay, it looks like it continue again. If it gets below this hammer, it's not a good sign. Let's look at IBM. IBM continuing to go to the downside. So we also have who else can we look at? Disney. It was looking good a couple days ago, but again you had the golfing pattern, but they couldn't even clear the high. So just be aware, be cautious. Doesn't mean that you just say, listen, I'm not going to do anything, but just be cautious of what's going on. No, we won't cover this one. Even though it's up, you have QIWI, and I don't even know the name of it. I have it up here, kind of just looking around at some different things. Who else you got? You got Philip Morris. Philip Morris looks like it could break down. Look like it could break down hard, quite honestly. If it got below this low, there's a lot of air between the 87 and 82. So, I mean, maybe it halts a little bit at this pivot point. Who knows? But just be aware. Just be very, very conscious of what's going on. We got Nike. Nike pulling back to the 10, but still wouldn't, look at it. You got 3D giving you a shooting star to the downside. So just have to be very careful regarding that. Let's look at what gold's doing. Gold popped up a little bit. Okay, let's look at the bonds. Bonds popped up a little bit. Okay, but we got a lot of uncertainty with what's going on in Washington, and the markets are reacting. I don't want to comment. Don't ever ask me to comment on the politics. I will not comment about it. I will not comment about politics or religion ever. So I never want to talk about it. Okay, it's just some news to be aware of. We got Johnson & Johnson, mostly sometimes defensive play, but coming back to these previous lows. You got Merck, same thing, looking sloppy. You got Pfizer, the blue pill specialist for the older gentleman, not looking good, just sideways, chop, and we do not like to get chopped up. You got Amgen, looking like it could break down, quite honestly. So this is the reason why I like to do some type of parameters on what I like to get into. You got Southern Company, used to be a good name, no mas. You got Monster Beverage, used to be a good name, no mas. I don't love any of these names. These are instruments to make us coin, to make us money. Okay, do not fall in love with them. People still talk to me about BlackBerry. I don't care about BlackBerry because the days of it making me money is over. It's too low. I don't like it. Can it go up? I don't care. Okay, I don't care about what Apple CEO is doing, what products they have, what Google products they have. It doesn't matter what my phone is, because I completely detach that part of my life with what is going on these charts. And that's the only way that you can do it, because if you have an ounce of, I kind of like this company, so I'm going to do that, just throw the charts out. Okay, read fundamentals. But I'm telling you, accountants can be creative. Okay, I never trust them. Listen to one of those. I used to listen to CEO call. Any CEO ever told you that their company was shitty? Any of them? No. Okay, you listen to the CEO calls before. I think it was Lehman. They had before they, before they went down. You go on their call. It was great. Cisco, great call. Great call. A friend of mine was telling me, "Oh, you should listen to the call with Cisco." I'm like, I don't want to trade that. No one's gonna tell you when times are rough. So, and they're just not going to be fruitful, or they're going to tell you, listen, I don't have time for that. Well, I never wanted to quote that, but I don't have time for that crap. At the end of the day, this is your instruments to make you money. If the chart tells you, make sure you are really knowing how much you're willing to risk for these trades and move forward. So, I'm getting long-winded, but take care.